lose their foliage in winter. A few can even tolerate light foot traffic. If it's dry, it's time for thyme. This aromatic ground cover excels in beds, borders, and containers. Hens and Chicks is a small but mighty succulent that's terrific in small or tight spaces between garden stones or in a trough garden. The best ground cover for shady spots are sweet woodruff, ajuga, and lamium. Besides staying green throughout the hot summer months, brass buttons, mondo grass, lamb's ear, and Pachysandra, which is also called Japanese spurge, will add winter interest to the garden as well. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Rain and a thunderstorm today can lead to flooding. We'll have a thick cloud cover with a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm with a high of 85 to 91. Then partly cloudy skies this evening, low tonight 72 to 75. Friday and Saturday both will be partly sunny with thunderstorms in the afternoons. High Friday 90 to 92, high Saturday 90 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Pauline Holdren.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
County Commissioner Kathy Bryant, but she has been exposed to the COVID-19 virus. Speedy recovery to Chad, her husband, and hopefully the commissioner still is, I hope she's still giving negative results. Alex Abishan from the Public Information Office for the county is in with us. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
Is the commissioner still negative? Is she still testing negative?
That is the last I'd heard, and that's what was announced at Tuesday's board meetings. That she was tested negative, but of course is quarantining due to close household exposure. Of course, we're monitoring that situation.
Well, let's talk about COVID because it seems to be running rampant in Marion County. I mean, there's 1,881 new cases last week, 24.1 positivity rate. Okay, all these numbers getting thrown at me. What does 24.1 positivity rate mean?
That means of all of the tests, the COVID-19 tests that were taken in Marion County that week, a quarter of them came out positive. But let's look at the hospitalization rates. That, I think, is more telling.
148 patients.
As of this morning, there were 810 patients in Marion County hospitals right now. 810 patients being treated total. 217 of them are being treated for COVID.
A quarter of the people in the hospital.
Over a quarter of the people in the hospital total are being treated for COVID-19.
Well, let me ask you this. Is the emergency rooms full where they're putting them in hallways? Is the ICU full?
Yes.
So
emergency rooms are in a holding pattern. There are about 25, 30 people in ICUs across the scope. And of those 217 people that were admitted for COVID, 212 were unvaccinated. Only 5 of the 212 that were admitted to the hospital had received a vaccine.
So so the vaccine doesn't work because 5 people got sick.
That is why it is so critical to receive a COVID-19 vaccine.
If you choose to.
Because it will keep you out of the hospital
Supposedly.
when you are infected with COVID. You have 2 options, essentially, at this point, to receive your COVID antibodies.
So government, let me get this right, because the government in 1980, in the late 1980s, locked me up for doing experimental drugs. But now they're wanting me to do experimental drugs. Am I getting this right? Am I reading this
right? The government mandated a smallpox vaccine. The government strongly encouraged you to get a polio vaccine. The government urges
didn't have a polio vaccine. I'm walking fine.
The government urges you to get a chickenpox vaccine. And
we went to chickenpox parties. We just got the chickenpox.
27% of all people in the hospital right now are in the hospital due to COVID. And,
is it due to COVID or COVID related?
It is.
Those are two terms.
They are being treated for COVID-19.
Okay. All right. Just to clear that, because, there's a lot of difference between COVID and COVID related. But if they're being treated for COVID-19, and now is this regular COVID or is this the Delta variant COVID or is it both?
The number I saw this morning was that 93% of cases across the state of Florida were coming back as Delta variant.
But which is a much more contagious variant.
Much more contagious,
but not as deadly.
Correct. So Marion County
that's what we're calling the flu now, is the Delta variant.
Marion County is taking this extremely seriously. We're making vaccines readily available. We actually have testing sites open back up on Wednesdays at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion. Of course, we saw that the school opening has been delayed to August 17th. But as we get ready to go back to school, that's going to be a critical thing to have. Is that quick and easy testing option for people. 8 to 2 Wednesdays at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion. Thursdays, we've got Thursdays and Fridays. The Florida Department of Health in Marion County has mobile vaccination clinics available in some more remote areas of the county. They're right now in Dunellen at the former Oberman Public Library, the Oberman building in Dunellen. They'll be there until 11:30, and then from 1:30 to 3:30 today, they'll be in the Marion Oaks Community Center offering vaccinations. Of course, that's free. It's publicly available, and that's at 1:30 to 3:30 today and every Thursday in August. Both of those sites, 9:30 to 11:30 in the Oberman building in Dunellen, and 1:30 to 3:30 in Marion Oaks. All that information, of course, is available at marion.floridahealth.gov. And then Fridays, they're in McIntosh as well, at the McIntosh Civic Center. That's at 3 to 6 p.m. on the north side of the county in the McIntosh Civic Center.
I see in the talking points here it goes, the shots are available, they're safe, they work. Please don't wait. Keep yourself and your loved ones healthy. We think they're safe. They're experimental. We don't know 15 years from now what they're going to do to us. We think they're safe. See, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, but I know you and I we get back and forth with each other, but I know a lot of people that have said, yes, this is more contagious than the original one, but less deadly. So I'm just going to be real sick. I'm not going to die. Why get the shot?
Yeah.
Explain why that thought process doesn't jive with what the county is wanting to get across.
Well, in terms of safe and effective and safety and efficacy, the vaccine process has been extremely carefully monitored. Some people say that these have been rushed out.
Only 10 months.
Coronavirus vaccines have been in the works since the very first SARS vaccine happened. This style of virus, these sorts of proteins, this type of vaccine has been in the works for over a decade. In terms of safety, the clinical trials involved 100 times more than the necessary.
Right now, it involves 7.5 billion test people.
Sorry.
Right now, the clinical trial has over 7 billion people involved.
Oh, right. as it's not.
We're in the clinical trial stage still. But we're giving it to people because we did have people dying. I'm not making light of COVID. People died from COVID.
And are still dying.
And still dying from COVID. But less because we've learned more about how to properly, a lot of people shouldn't have been ventilated that were ventilated, and that caused issues that caused death and stuff. So as we learn more, we're getting better at it, but we still need to push on, and if you want to get vaccinated because we still need all the help we can get to get on top of this.
Vaccines are readily available. Hospitals are filling up with unvaccinated COVID patients. Outcomes are far more uncertain for an unvaccinated COVID patient than a vaccinated individual.
Well, they said I had Advent Health said I had COVID. I did a test. I was going for surgery. Said I had COVID. Mm-hmm. My primary physician the next day said negative test. I went to Walgreens, negative test. So I've been tested for 3 times in a 24-hour period, but the health department still made me quarantine for 10 days.
And
that's where people. And I think that's the part that's aggravating people. It's stuff like that. I did 3 tests, less than 24 hours, but one of them was positive, so I had to quarantine for 10 days. I mean, who's right and who's wrong?
There is, and that is something that the guidance is consistently being updated. And as we see these surges, it's a fluid situation. It's a dynamic situation. You see new variants emerge. You see surges emerge. It's the guidance has to change as the situation changes, and as government officials know more, as we know more, things begin to update. But honestly, I mean, a thing like the vaccine, I don't.
You've had yours.
Of course, yes.
Both, and I said on the radio last week, you know what my problem with the vaccine is? If they would tell me the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was 98% effective, I'd go get it. I don't want to get a shot and then have to go back and get a second shot and have to, because the side effects, you don't know whether the first time you're going to feel a little funny, the second time you're going to, just give me one shot and be done with it. But the Johnson & Johnson isn't as effective as the 2-shot thing. And I'll be honest with you, if it was a 1-shot deal, I'd go get a shot.
Yeah.
But
I don't believe there's much difference in efficacy between the Johnson & Johnson
72
and Pfizer.
to 98.
Honestly, 72 is better than 0. Too. And
but it's still not as good as 98. don't talk to a poker player about probabilities.
Yeah,
because there's more chance.
Oh yeah,
there's more chance the ace hits the river if you only got a 72% chance of winning than there is if you got a 98% chance.
And
winning.
The other difference too that you have to keep in mind is that the risk of serious illness, hospitalization, and death becomes so much lower as well once you have that exposure and have that kind of broad spectrum antibody where you know how to respond to.
Well, if I've had COVID, I got the antibodies.
But
I don't know if I've had COVID.
Right, not to the extent that a vaccine would offer, and
well,
of
let
course,
me ask
I'll
you
be
this.
the first in line. I'll be the first in line once a booster shot becomes available. Once that's
let me ask you
that
this.
Might become
well,
necessary.
I will tell you this. Do you know the largest group of unvaccinated people that have not been affected by the COVID virus?
Who's that?
I saw this on CNN. CNN said they were doing an op-ed, and a guy said, "You want to find out how to cure COVID? Tap into the homeless population. Their immune systems are they're not getting struck with this near as heavy as the regular population." That was according to CNN, a report on CNN 2 days ago, that the homeless population is not seeing the mass outbreaks that the regular population is.
I would question the data that they might just not
I'm
be
just
showing
telling
up
you
in the health
system. The homeless, their immune system, they deal with dirt, virus, bacteria, and all on a daily basis.
Anyway, you strongly
recommend the county does take the shot.
Take our Tuesday board meeting where we had a quorum of 3 of 5 county commissioners present. Take that into consideration. Take the fact that 27% of all hospitalizations in Marion County are COVID patients.
And use all the
information
to make a decision.
To make your decision, and keep in mind that vaccines are free. They are readily available, and they are demonstrably effective.
But not necessarily safe.
You can call 352-644-2590, and I certainly haven't heard anyone dying of a COVID-19 vaccine.
Sure there have been. There's been numerous cases all around the country where people have died. Yeah, there's been numerous cases across the country.
Let's talk about baseball.
8 and under World Series, Cal Ripken.
Yeah, that's going on right now.
Out at the Rotary?
Out at the Rotary. And we got a horse fever horse. This was something that I actually learned a lot about. Of course, I see the art horses all over town, and I didn't know what what spawned the public art project. Of course, it's nice to see public art. It's nice to see the art horses, but I didn't realize that this was the Marion Cultural Alliance and what spawned the Marion Cultural Alliance. But we have the newest art horse, the newest member of the Horse Fever group is out there at the Rotary Sportsplex.
And Gene Hoteling he was the artist that did it.
Gene Hoteling did it. It is beautiful. It's got a baseball glove for a saddle. It's got Cal Ripken on it, Babe Ruth, Manny Ramirez, whole bunch of folks.
And Gene does a great job.
Oh,
he's a retired Marion County
beautiful.
teacher. He's a retired Marion County teacher. He does a great job. I actually ran into him and talked to him about the horse, and he told me to go see it at the Waffle House out on Maricamp. So.
And it's not just the horse. Our Parks and Rec guys did an amazing job with the presentation. It's got a paddock fence, a beautiful concrete base, some great landscaping around it. It's a really great presentation there. It's right at the entrance of the Rotary Sportsplex, right to the entrance of the Cal Ripken Fields, rather, at the Rotary Sportsplex, and it just looks great. And it's there to welcome our participants in this Cal Ripken 8 and Under World Series.
This is what I love, because it's got people from Jacksonville, Tampa, West Palm Beach, Missouri, and the Bahamas.
The Bahamas. We got 6 teams,
hotel rooms
including
are getting
one
full.
Team from the Bahamas. And hotel rooms are getting full. Even with only 6 teams, our tourist development folks tell us they're anticipating $500,000 in economic impact from
there's 20 players
tournament.
on each team. That's 20 families per team. That's 6 teams. That's 180 people staying in hotels, eating in the restaurants. And that'll take into effect the coaches that are on the team, another 3 or 4 coaches with their families. So,
and the staff from Babe Ruth themselves, because
probably
we had commissioners.
people.
We had commissioners from the Babe Ruth League here for the Slugger event and for the World Series and all that thing from all over the Northeast. The folks from Babe Ruth International that commission the games. They're actually live streaming the events on YouTube. You can go to their YouTube network, and you can find those links on Ocala Marion, the Ocala Tourist Development social media channels. You can watch those games live, but you can also go out to the Sportsplex and watch them live because it's completely free to attend. The park staff has waived all the parking fees, all the entry fees. Just go on out, cheer on the Ocala Rotary Reds, cheer on our visitors from West Palm Beach, from the Bahamas, from Missouri. Give them some love.
Jacksonville, Tampa.
They're playing tonight at 5. They're playing tonight at 7. Bracket play starts tomorrow at 3 to get the seeding, and then the World Series championship game is Saturday at noon.
Tell us about the Bus Brigade.
The Bus Brigade is a fantastic event. We do it every year, and it is so important for the Marion County Public Schools, especially in a year like this, a year like last year, where we have children in need that need the supplies that they have to have in order to succeed academically in schools. We learned from Marion County Public Schools that nearly 3,000 students in the Marion County Public School District qualify as homeless or needy, and Marion County collected various supplies, things like pencils, crayons, markers, but also big ticket items, graphing calculators, printer supplies, actual like school supplies for the teachers and things like that, and also supplies for the kids, things like clothes, shoes, and personal hygiene items, even like laundry detergent, stuff like that. All that was collected, donated, supplied by various Marion County departments. In total, Marion County collected 8,424 items worth a grand total of $15,323.
And there was a competition that went along with this.
Yep, we filled up a bus. We split the county up into 3 divisions, so all the different departments engaged in some friendly competition to see who could collect the most supplies. Administration was the winning division out of the 3. They collected 3,644 items. That was worth $7,394. The administration team, that includes the county commission, the county attorney, fire rescue, public safety communications, human resources, 911 management, the procurement department, facilities management, and IT. And then we also recognize the single most successful department in terms of donations, and that was public safety communications. That's your 911 dispatchers and your 911 emergency
they collected a third of the $15,000.
Sure did. 2,000 items, $5,000 came from Public Safety Communications. Kyle Drummer, our Public Safety Communications Director, and his team, the 911 dispatchers and the 911 communicators just rose to the challenge and absolutely crushed it.
And no reference to a fire chief or a sheriff intimidating anybody to give to a charity, right? So no. Oh wait, that's the city. That's the city. Never mind.
Board.
That's the city. Never mind.
Everyone was politely encouraged to donate.
Tell us what's going on with Habitat for Humanity.
Real quick, before I do, on this bus brigade thing, I will mention on our Marion County Facebook page, on our social media channels, the departments were also encouraged to make their own buses, and there are some really, really fun and creative bus ideas that we have pictures of. Go and find those. But yeah, Habitat for Humanity. The county commission has partnered with the Housing Finance Authority, Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, to build 7 new homes in the Silver Spring Shores area. We talk about it all the time. There is a massive housing shortage in Marion County, but even on top of that, and even more acutely, there is an affordable housing shortage in Marion County. So to have these homes available and to have them be available specifically for people in a low income bracket is very important for the future of Marion County's workforce housing development, and it's a really crucial step. And we need homeowners for these homes as they come to fruition. We're nearly finished building them, so they're being sold for $120,000. They're 3-bed, 2-bath homes in the Silver Spring Shores area. $120,000. Good-looking houses. They're well appointed, well finished, and we also have assistance, even additional assistance from the Florida State Housing Initiatives partnership, SHIP. They are offering $20,000 to pay the down payment and the closing costs for you.
Wow.
If your application qualifies. So you have to meet 80% of the area median income or below. There's a chart on our website that will show you exactly what that is. It depends on the number of people in your household. Applicants must meet various guidelines for the SHIP program, but what you can do, just head to marionfl.org/community services, and you'll find the chart there. You'll find the info for the houses there, and there will be a phone number or two you can call for more information. If you know anyone that might qualify, this is a fantastic opportunity to move away from renting into home ownership for a very, very affordable opportunity for that.
And there's 7 homes available.
Yeah, 7 homes available, all in the Silver Spring Shores area, all newly built, all well appointed, all safe. marionfl.org/community services. Again, I believe 5 of those were built by Habitat for Humanity. The other 2 were built in partnership with the Housing Finance Authority. So those are offered through
Marion County .fl.
marionfl.org/community services.
Okay.
marionfl.org/community services. Left hand of the page, you'll see a graphic, a little icon graphic that says Home Buyer Assistance.
Got about 2 minutes left. There's a boil water precaution.
There is. We have a boil water notice. So that is in effect in the northern Marion Oaks area, specifically for Pine Ridge Estates and Hunter's Trace. 216 residents are affected. This is with a power plant that used to, or a water treatment plant that used to be owned by Marion Utilities, the recent acquisition of Marion County Utilities, Marion Utilities. A lot of that infrastructure is very outdated, and as we make efforts to modernize and standardize that, we had a water pressure drop due to an electrical outage, so we have a precautionary boil water notice in effect.
Now,
is
that all my water, or just my water I'm drinking or eating, using to cook?
Any water that's being used for drinking, cooking, brushing teeth. So water for laundry, water for bathing, water for showering, don't worry about that. But anything that you're cooking with, drinking, brushing teeth, boil that for a minute or use bottled water. And we expect that to be rectified very quickly. We need to perform a bacteriological assessment on the water to determine that it's safe, but that will be conducted as soon as possible. Also, if you are one of those customers, if you are a customer of Marion Utilities that has been merged to Marion County Utilities, and you would like to update your customer information, please give us a call. 352-307-6000. That's 352-307-6000. And again, I cannot stress enough, COVID testing, COVID vaccines available. Marion, the Florida Department of Health in Marion County, a variety of healthcare providers. It's free. It's available. There's no supply shortage.
There is. If you have a desire to get the vaccination, Marion County has a veritable potpourri of places you can go get it, and there is no shortages. There is a plethora of vaccines if you want to go out there and get them. If you choose to, Marion County has offered you numerous places, and they strongly recommend that you take advantage of those places to get the vaccine.
Please do.
Alex, thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you, sir.
Talk to you next week or in 2 weeks or somebody in 2 weeks. Hopefully Kathy Bryant.
Yeah, hopefully Kathy Bryant. Maybe me.
We'll see. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Wednesday night in a D.C. District Court to the Biden administration's new national
today
eviction
can lead to
moratorium.
flooding.
They
We'll have a
argue
thick
the Center
cloud
for
cover with a
Disease
couple of
Control and
showers and a
Prevention's
heavy
order
thunderstorm
Tuesday barring
with a high of
evictions through
85
October
to
3rd
91.
exceeds
Then
the
partly cloudy
CDC's
skies
powers.
this evening, low tonight 72.
Lawmakers in New York have called for New York
Friday
Democrat
and
Governor
Saturday
Andrew
both
Cuomo to
partly
resign
sunny with
following the release of the
thunderstorms in
state Attorney
afternoon.
General's report
Friday
on
90
evidence
to
of sexual
92.
harassment.
Saturday,
Cuomo's own
90 to
party, including the
93.
president,
From
is
the
calling for
Florida Weather
Cuomo to
Center,
step down.
Marion
New York City Mayor Democrat Bill de Blasio on CNN.
This is textbook
Are you wasting time
sexual harassment, and then unfortunately making it worse. In some cases, even sexual assault.
Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get
Disgusting
there?
and
Just
troubling
Ship
and
offers
unacceptable,
pickup service
and
flat
he
rate
needs to
packaging
leave
and
office
postage rates,
immediately.
which takes the guesswork out of shipping.
We are
while saving
USA
you time and
Radio
money.
News.
So quit wasting
If
valuable
you're concerned
time and
about
money.
the power
Call or
grid and
text
want to
Just
generate
Ship
your
at
own supply of off-grid electricity, this will be the most
That's
important message you'll hear this year. Here's why. We now
Just
have a
Ship.
small number of solar generators back in stock. These emergency backup systems
This is
provide
Ocala
life-saving
Talks with
backup
Tom
power
Schmidt,
when you need it most.
bringing